And we're now switching over to the School of Life Sciences. And if you have just joined our panel, our session right now, welcome. If you've been with us for most of the day, thank you for hanging in there all day, and I hope it's been useful. Just to share some rules, at the bottom of your screen, you will see a Q&A button in the middle. So if you have any questions you want to ask during the next hour, please type them into the Q&A. You can do that in English or Zulu, and the panelists will answer these questions for you. Please remember to go to our Open Day website. If you Google College of Agriculture, Engineering and Science Open Day, it will come up. There are all sorts of lovely resources. There's some wonderful videos on different study courses, microbiology, genetics, biochemistry. They're all on the web, and their materials, their career posters, there's application processes. So don't forget to go there. If you have friends who can't log in, they want to watch live on Facebook, we are live on the UKZN Facebook site if you log into our home page. Okay, I think that's it from me. And so I will now hand over to the Dean and Head of the School of Life Sciences at UKZN, who is Prof. Ade Olaniran. Ade, over to you.
Thank you very much, Sally. And I'm just trying to share my screen very quickly. All right. Thank you very much, Sally, and thanks to the members of the panel for this session. Good afternoon to all participants, particularly to the prospective students of UKZN from 2021. Thank you very much for joining us in this year's virtual Open Day program. For me, as the Dean and Head of School of Life Sciences, it's indeed a privilege and honor to welcome you to this session with the School of Life Sciences. We are a school that prides ourselves in excellence, both in teaching as well as in research. In the next hour during this session, we hope to be able to give you a virtual tour of the school, just to give you an overview of what the school looks like, our staff complement and different activities that happens in the school. Just to give you a picture of what enrollment looks like in the school and what is our outlook for 2021. And also to give you some record in terms of our graduation success in the school, and to provide you with an overview of the different degrees that we have and how you can build those structures to be able to get your degree in terms of the courses that you have to do, and to also tell you about the opportunity you have even beyond your BSc degree, and to tell you that should you decide to enroll with us, what you should expect from us as a school in terms of our promise to you, and to also tell you about different qualifications in the different programs and disciplines and the different career opportunities that are attributed to some of those disciplines. So those are what you should be expecting in this particular session. To quick start, I will quickly tell you about the school itself. You must have heard from the different sessions that as University of KwaZulu-Natal, we have 4 different colleges, and the university is operating on 5 different campuses. So if you're on this session, you must be interested in studying at the College of Agric Engineering and Science, and in particular, the School of Life Sciences, where we host in this session. Within the School of Life Sciences, we're one of the 5 schools in the college, and we are located on 2 campuses out of the 5 of the UKZN campuses. We're based in Pietermaritzburg, as well as in Westfield campus. We have staff complement of about 145, Just over 50% of that are academics, and the remaining are our technical staff and admin staff that are there to provide to provide administrative and technical support that will enable you to enrich your learning experience within the school. As a school, we pride ourselves in terms of our research profile, which is excellent. We have outstanding research output and research quality. We currently have 3 of the NRF circuit research chairs that are residing in the school that contribute significantly to the research profile and outlook of the school. We have research centers, which are very vibrant and have a whole lot of researchers and postgrad students that strengthens our different research programs. And our researchers, a lot of researchers are rated by the National Research Foundation of South Africa. And our academics and researchers are of international standing. We offer a broad range of research topics in different areas of the school, ranging from nanotechnology to diabetes research, to vaccine development, to indigenous knowledge system. Within the biochemistry aspect, we have things going in the area of malaria research and protein chemistry. We offer different research in genetics, like metagenomics, forensic genetics, population genetics, redox system biology. We also offer research that are related to TB, climate change, water research, ecology, parasitology, entomology, enzyme technology, as well as bioenergy production. Within the plants associated discipline, we do researches in the area of plant physiology and taxonomy, and we also do research in the area of aquaculture. So we have a wide range of research projects that our students are doing currently in the different areas of the school. In terms of our student enrollment, currently we have just below 2,000 students that are with us in the school. About 31.5% of those are in Pietermaritzburg, and the rest of the students are based in Westport. In terms of the qualification level, 75% of our students are undergraduate students, and the remaining 25% are postgrad students, and they do their studies at the different levels at honors, masters, as well as PhD level. In 2021, our planned enrollment as a school in total is 2,032. 1/3 of those students are going to be based in Pietermaritzburg, and the rest of the students are going to be in Westport. In terms of the undergraduate component, we're expecting 76% as a school, and the rest 24% are going to be for the postgrad. Specifically for first year's intake, for those of you that are hoping to come to the school, our planned intake is 440, which is spread between the different programs and majors that we have in the school, and majority of them are going to be based in Westfield campus, while only 95 of them are going to be based in Pietermaritzburg. You're going to hear more about these different programs and the different options that you have in terms of making your choice in terms of your career in the school. This is to tell you that with this number that we're planning for next year, that although 28 matric points is what is generally say you could enter the university, it might not be enough because most of these programs are competitive and they're selected based on the number of people that applied and what matric points that people have got. Math literacy generally is not accepted in the college. You must have had that earlier. And also that life orientation is not included in your matric points that you use to calculate what you have to be able to enter our school. In terms of our student graduation record, we are proud to say that in 2020 April graduation that was recently conducted virtually, we graduated 277 BSc students, and we also have graduates at honors level 103 of them, and we have 41 and 11 masters and PhD graduates respectively. Over the past 3 years on the average, we graduate 280 BSc students, We graduate 130 BSc honors on an annual basis, and we graduate 60 masters as well as 35 PhD students. In terms of the programs and majors that we offer at the undergraduate level, we offer 3 focus programs. You're going to hear more about them as we go along. One of them is biological sciences, which is offered on both Pietermaritzburg as well as Westfield campus. And then we have industrial and applied biotechnology, which we offer in Pietermaritzburg only, while we only offer marine biology in Westfield campus. We also have 6 different majors, which are associated with the early years stream, where when you come in as a student, you are allowed to choose 1 or 2 of these majors in terms of curriculating your degree in terms of what you want to study. Now, of these 6, 3 of them, biochemistry, genetics, and microbiology, are the ones that are present on both campus, but biology and ecology are only available in Pietermaritzburg, whereas cellular biology is only available in Westfield. Now, once you get your degree, there are opportunities for you within the school to be able to climb the career ladder. So once you get your BSc degree, which should take you a minimum of 3 years, you have the option of then spending additional year to get your BSc honors. And from there, depending on what you want your career path is, you have the option of progressing to do your master's degree and ultimately a doctorate degree within the school. If you decide to enroll with us in 2021, our promise to you in terms of what you should expect is that 1, we guarantee that you have quality education with us with high standards. Our staff are highly qualified, and I'm talking about both academic and professional service staff who are going to ensure that you have an enriching learning experience within the school. We are proud that our staff are very passionate as a school. We're very passionate, committed, and dedicated, and ready to serve and go all out to make sure that our students get the best education that we can offer. We will also provide you with nurturing environment that will ensure that you develop into a very good young scientist after you get your degree. And you will also be supported with excellent academic programs, which is normally facilitated by our academic development officers in terms of the different holistic programs that we offer. And you can also be guaranteed of friendly and supportive student administration services. You can be sure that we will ensure professionalism in our dealing with you, integrity and fairness at all times. And you can also be guaranteed that of tolerance and respect. We pride in ourselves as a school, we pride in our students, and we pride in our university. We practice the UKZN rich values, which includes respect, excellence, accountability, client orientation, honesty, and trust. We have good laboratory environments with adequate infrastructures that will support the different programs that you decide to do, and that will ensure that you have enriched learning experience should you decide to study with us within the School of Life Sciences. So we're hoping that you're going to choose us as a school, and we're hoping that from next year, we're going to be welcoming some of you to the school to join this vibrant school that we have and to be part of what is going on so that you can be able to choose your career path with us as a school. Now, for the rest of the session, during this period, you're going to be addressed by some of our academic leaders in the school who are going to talk to you about the different aspects, and they will elaborate different aspects of what I've just provided an overview of. You will be hearing an overview about the different undergraduate degrees that we offer in the school and the description of different biological science related disciplines. You will also be hearing about some disciplines in biotechnology, like biochemistry, genetics, microbiology, and industrial and applied biotechnology. You will hear specifically about marine biology, what it means and what is it that we offer at UKZN. And you also, I'm sure you also want to know, if you do those degrees, what is in there for you in terms of career opportunities. So we also aspire to tell you some of the career opportunities that are associated with the different degrees that you may want to pursue. And the panel are going to be available at the end of the presentations to answer some of the questions that you may have so that we can provide more clarification. So I hope you enjoyed this session as we go along, and I wish you all the best. So I'm going to call upon the academic leader for teaching and learning in the school, Professor Vosloo, to please address you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Olaniran, for that introduction. I know that all of you will definitely want to study at the school already. And I'm just going to try and give you some practical advice if you want to make this transition into the School of Life Sciences. So some of the aspects that you will be able to hear about in the next little while would enable you to make a good decision about what exactly you want to study. Right. So you will have heard that our school is arranged across 2 campuses, and you will have heard that some of these specializations are offered in one campus and maybe not on the other one. Sorry, can you just give me one moment, please? Thank you. Apologies for making you wait. I'm going to briefly chat to you about some of the entry requirements, which you will have heard about quite a lot in the preceding little presentations. But I think just to be very clear, I think we need to reiterate that. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your basic course structure. And because biology is such a massive field, not everybody in the school knows everything, contrary to what you might be expecting. And we're not expecting you to know everything about everything in biology because the field is so incredibly vast. So we're going to talk a little bit about specialization within these qualifications that we are offering you. And then we're going to talk about some of those applications themselves. So how do you get into the University of KwaZulu-Natal and specifically into the School of Life Sciences? There are a number of hurdles that you have to master, minimum marks that you have to get, minimum matric points that you have to get. And if you can tick all the boxes in terms of what is required, we will welcome you with open arms and we will give you an absolutely excellent education. Please do not for one moment aspire to achieve the lowest number of points required to get into the program. If you have on your cell phone space for 10 songs, you will obviously pick the 10 best songs. And you will have heard from Professor Olaniran that we've got a minimum number of slots that we are available to offer. So if you have got the minimum requirements, there's no guarantee that you will get in. So I really want to inspire all of you to work as hard as possible to get the maximum marks, to put yourself in the best possible position to qualify for entry into the School of Life Sciences and start your BSc degree with us. I'm just going to give you a bit of an overview of how you structure your degree. It's going to be very different from your school career. So we are talking about a modular system that runs in 2 semesters. And we're talking about modules and not subjects. And so in your first semester of your first year, and a semester normally runs in a non-COVID year from about February to June. And the second semester runs in the second half of the year from July until November. So in that semester, you will do 4 modules. In the second semester, you'll do another 4, and then you will have successfully qualified and done all of your first year modules. You will do another 8 modules, 4 per semester in your second year, and you will do exactly the same in your third year. And all these together will bring you your qualification And that is going to be a source of massive celebration once you get your new suit and your new dress and your high heels and hair and nails and everything done for your graduation ceremony. And that is what you should be aspiring for. So how do you specialize? And as I said previously, biology is such a massive field that we cannot expect you to know everything. So we allow you the opportunity to specialize. And one of the core things that we have worked on as a college is to have a common first year curriculum. And that's really a launch pad for you to give you a wide array of experience in your first year that allows you maximum articulation into subsequent years of study. And you can specialize in two different ways in our school. You can specialize through the use of focus programs, and you can specialize through the use of majors. And I think Professor Olaniran already alluded to that, and I'm just going to unpack that in slightly more detail. So a focus program is really a collection of modules at your second and third year that builds on this common first year curriculum, and that together forms a complete qualification. And the three qualifications that Professor Olaniran was already alluded to is industrial and applied biotechnology. And you can do a focus program in biological sciences and a focus program in marine biology. Majors work a bit differently, and you will, from that list that Professor Olaniran has already shown you, you will basically, at the end of your first year, select two of these. And so half of your second year will be made up of a specialization in one of these majors, and the other half will be made up of specialization in your second major. And you will do that exactly the same in your third year, so that when you graduate with majors, then half your degree would be a specialization in one of your selected majors, and half would be a specialization in the other. And you basically have almost free choice in terms of which two majors you want to utilize in the school. And you can also utilize majors from outside of the school. Some of those combinations are especially powerful depending on how you want to specialize within the field of biology in general and life sciences in general. So just to recap, our focus programs are in marine biology, in biological sciences, and in industrial and applied biotechnology. And our majors, as Professor Olaniran has said, there are 6 of those. Some of them run on different campuses, and we will delve into a little bit of detail to share that with you in one moment. So you would graduate in the focus program with a BSc in marine biology or biological sciences or in industrial and applied biotechnology. And if you go the route of majors as your specialization, you would have a BSc in life and environmental sciences, and you will specialize in 2 of the majors that are on offer in the school. Right, so I'm just going to spend a little bit of time talking to you about the biological sciences BSc. This is a focused program, and if you remember from Professor Olaniran's presentation, that runs on both the Pietermaritzburg and the Westville campus. And this is a general degree that gives you a large number of skills and expert knowledge in fields that are core to biology, within which you can do some specialization for yourself as well. So the common first year curriculum would allow you some background in biology and chemistry, physics, maths, and stats. And we will build on that in the second year to give you some more experience. So we have 2 terms that you will get to know very, very quickly, and those are core modules. These are the ones in bold that you have to do, and then you can make up the rest of your curriculum within some limitations by choosing what you want to specialize in. And in the biological sciences, you can choose to specialize more in the biological, in the zoological direction if you are interested in animals, or more in the plant direction if you are interested in plants as a field of study, or more in the cellular biology direction. But you can also choose the cellular biology major if you wanted to do that. So in your second year, we would equip you with skills, which we call a research toolkit, where you will do some numeracy and literacy skills that are essential as a scientist. There is some core requirements around molecular biology and genetics, and then the elective modules would be made up from choices that you make in terms of which direction you want to specialize in. In the third year, we have a core requirement again in communication skills, because if you cannot tell people how absolutely excellent you are, then will forever be hidden in the darkness. So you need to be able to communicate very clearly, and those are skills that we empower you with. There's a core requirement on evolution and systematics, and you will do a research project of some shape or form, and that'll take you a full semester, and then you will actually work in close supervision with one of our specialist researchers, and they will guide you in the scientific method, which is the stepping stone upon which an honors and a master's and a PhD qualification would be built. So that we already give you in your undergrad some experience in terms of running your own research project within the confines that we can do. Something I just need to say here is that people often ask us, well, if I do a BSc in biological sciences, what am I? Where am I going to work? And I think the important thing for you to realize is that we're not equipping you to work at one single job for the rest of your life, like an optometrist, for instance. We're equipping you with skills across a large base so that you can find and solve problems as best you can out there in the real world. I'm just going to spend a bit of time talking about the different majors that we offer. The major in cellular biology is offered on the Westville campus. So if you want to specialize in that, you will be based on the Westville campus. So again, launching from the common first year curriculum that everyone will do, you will be specializing in more the cellular side of life, the smaller side of things. Biochemistry and cellular biology and molecular biology are the core requirements that we are going to expect from you if you want to specialize with this major. And in your third year, we will be doing some evolution and systematics and some biotech and some developmental biology, so that you really get an excellent grounding in terms of what happens at the cellular level, because the cellular level is really where life happens to a large extent. If you want to do a major in biology, that is offered on the Pietermaritzburg campus, again, launching from your common first year curriculum, there's a wide variety of subjects covering plants and invertebrates and vertebrates, some ecophysiology, which is how animals and plants function in their environments, and some molecular biology associated with that at level 2. And at level 3, we're talking about evolution and systematics and ecology and biotechnology and physiology. So it's a really focused yet wide major to specialize in if you're interested in biology. And you'll see there's some plant content and there's some animal content in there to help you through all of that. The second major that you can run in Pietermaritzburg in the biological sciences field is the major in ecology. And again, using your common first year curriculum as a launching pad, here it is about the ecophysiology and range and plants, some plant diversity in vertebrates. Again, it's about plants and animals and how they coexist and function together in complex systems. And this is really carried on into the third year, where it culminates again in a research project that you will do under leadership of one of our expert researchers. So this is just a very brief overview on the BSc Biological Sciences qualification and the 3 majors that we have in biology and cellular biology and ecology. And our next speaker, Professor Carola Niesler, will talk to you a little bit more about study in the field of biotechnology. Carola, thank you very much.
Right, thank you very much, Andre, for that. My name is Carola Niesler, and I am the leader of biotechnology based in the Pietermaritzburg campus. And what I'd like to do is just provide a brief description of the disciplines within the biotechnology cluster. So within the biotechnology cluster, we have biochemistry, we have genetics, and we have microbiology. And as Andre has pointed out, these can be studied as combined majors within the BSc LES degree. In addition, you can use modules within these disciplines together with chemical technology and chemistry as part of the industrial and applied biotechnology focused program. Right? So all of this falls within the biotechnology cluster. And the industrial and applied biotechnology, IABT, actually is run within the microbiology discipline. So if we go through these disciplines one by one, we know that biochemistry is basically the chemistry of life. And so here what we're doing is we're studying molecules that are needed to support cellular life. And we're doing this firstly in healthy organisms and then also to understand disease. So we're looking at things like proteins, we're looking at amino acids and DNA, we're looking at fats and carbohydrates and many more. And so we're then interested in understanding diseases and how these molecules, as well as cellular entities such as stem cells, can contribute to the development of diseases. So this would be, for instance, diabetes and Alzheimer's disease. These are focuses within our disciplines. Or we're also interested in knowing how molecules or cells can be used to diagnose diseases such as trypanosomiasis and malaria. So these are parasitic diseases, and again, our focus is within the disciplines. We're also interested in combating diseases such as HIV, TB, and also the novel coronavirus that we now know causes COVID-19. Genetics, as we know, is a branch of life sciences that is focused on the study of genes, right? So we're looking there to understand how they vary and how they are passed to future generations. So that would be studying inheritance, how we can use them to diagnose diseases. Again, PCR is used commonly in the diagnosis of COVID-19. We're also interested to know how they can be modified using processes like gene editing techniques, CRISPR-Cas9, etc. And how we can use gene editing to treat diseases or to maybe benefit agricultural sectors such as the animal and plant breeding sectors. So this would be in the remit of disease and drought-resistant crops. And then finally, we have researchers that use genetics for conservation, which is also a very interesting aspect within the genetics discipline. In our final discipline, which is the microbiology, and as I've said, the industrial and applied biotechnology program is run from within the microbiology discipline. So microbiology, we know, is the study of microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, fungi, yeast, and also parasites. And so here, the knowledge that is gained by studying microbiology can be used in a range of fields that could be related to human health, again, HIV and TB research and the current COVID-19 research. We can use that in veterinary health, in understanding food and water quality issues, in hygiene issues, in waste utilization, in the generation of new and better biofuels, understanding how to combat pollution. And finally, very excitingly, I think, the knowledge in microbiology teaches something about fermentation. And we all know fermentation is really important in the beer and wine industry. So by studying these disciplines of biochemistry, genetics, and microbiology, you'll end up learning a huge range of skills. And it's not just content-based, it goes beyond that. And you can apply that in a range of sectors that go actually beyond the life sciences. So many of our graduates go on to be entrepreneurs because the skills that they've learned equips them for that as well. If you study with us, as Professor Olaniran has indicated, we have dedicated, nurturing, passionate staff. We bring with expertise from around the globe. We've studied at universities all over the show, and we make use of our international competitiveness and our combined years of experience to provide you with an excellent learning experience. So come and join us. I will now pass on to Dr. David Glassom, the academic leader of biodiversity.
There we go.
There. Not that I don't like you.
Right, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming to hear a little bit about marine biology. Please give me a second while I share my screen with you, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do. Right. We live on a watery planet. As this quote says, it's inappropriate to call the planet Earth when it's quite clearly ocean. In fact, oceans cover about 70% of the Earth's surface. The oceans on our planet contain mountains higher than Everest. They contain trenches, especially the deepest part of the ocean, the Mariana Trench, which are more than 10 kilometers deep. 50% of the oxygen we breathe comes from tiny microscopic organisms in the ocean rather than from the forests and in the tropics on land. 1 billion people around the world depend on the oceans for their livelihoods, either directly through fishing or indirectly through industries such as tourism. Life started 3.8 billion years ago in the ocean. All of life started in the ocean. And even today, we're often astounded by the variety and abundance of life that the ocean offers. The oceans control our climate. They provide us with food. They're the source of rain. They recycle waste. They take up carbon dioxide to keep the planet cool. We use them for transport and recreation. They're the source of vast mineral wealth. And we're only just developing the technology to make the most of these minerals, and underwater mining is becoming a big industry. All of life on Earth depends on the oceans, and without oceans, the Earth would look something like Mars. And yet at the same time, today we have better maps of the back of the moon than we have of the bottom of the ocean. More people have walked on the moon than have been to the bottom of the deepest part of the ocean. Many species, possibly millions of them, haven't yet been discovered and may go extinct before we have the chance to get to know them. Many more weird and wonderful and vital species are also endangered. A lot of our fish are caught faster than they can breed and reproduce, endangering their populations and our food supply. Plastic, sewage, metals, and many other pollutants are entering our oceans all the time, polluting them. Coral reefs, which are vital marine ecosystems, are critically endangered by climate change, pollution, and overfishing. Our estuaries are also polluted and don't get enough fresh water for them to support the life that depends on them. This combination of incredible life and serious challenges means that there's still a huge amount about the oceans that we need to learn. And UKZN is the right place to start. When you join our marine biology program, you'll learn about marine life, the plants and animals that live in the sea. You'll learn how the ocean works from a local scale, like your local beach, and how that functions, right up to a global scale, and how the massive currents transport water, oxygen, and nutrients around the globe. You'll learn about how people interact and engage with the ocean, how much we depend on it, and the impact that our activities have on it. And you'll learn to study the ocean and to understand what needs to be done to manage and conserve it. You'll do this through a carefully structured and comprehensive 3-year program that covers all aspects of marine biology. In your first year, you'll do the basic core program that you've already heard a lot about, which covers basic biology as well as general chemistry, physics, maths, and statistics that are vital tools for marine biologists to use. In your second year, you'll focus on vertebrate and invertebrate biology. You'll start learning about marine environments and how plants and animals live in them. You'll learn a little bit about DNA and genetics and some vital tools that you'll need as a marine biologist, including geographic information systems. In the third and final year of your degree, you'll become more specialized and learn about topics very specific to marine biology. These include more about marine systems, evolution and systematics, applied marine biology, remote sensing, which is how we can learn about the sea using satellites in space. And as you've heard before, you'll also get to do a research project. In addition to that, like most students, if isiZulu isn't your first language, you'll have to do a module on isiZulu, and you'll be able to choose one elective module in second year that's not a core part of the program. By the end of the degree, you'll be well equipped for employment or to continue with further study through honors, masters, and PhD. UKZN is a great place to study marine biology, and at present we're the only university in South Africa that offers a dedicated undergraduate program in marine biology. I'm going to hand you over now to Dr. Dalene Vosloo, who's our academic leader for cell biology.
Welcome to our session on the School of Life Sciences. I don't want to say anything else about cellular biology because you've already heard about our major in cellular biology. However, I would like to give you some information about where you can go after the degree. So as you've heard before, we offer a wide variety of skills and information that equips you to actually enter a wide variety of job markets. Some of our students are going into internships with research institutions like the CSIR, at ORI, the Oceanographic Research Institute. Some of them are coming back to us for internships with the NRF or elsewhere at other academic institutions. Some of our students are working in pharmaceutical industries, are working with tourism industries, working with conservation agencies. So there's an extremely wide variety of employment opportunities out there. So what I want to do is to show you a video that highlights some of the features of each of our programs or majors, and then also a little bit of detail about where they are employed, at least in which industries they're employed, but within that there's a wide variety of industries that they can go to. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of more information about what we're all about and what we have to offer. So please come and join us next year for the Start Your Career, and we'll go into the Q&A session immediately.
Thanks very much, Dalene. If the Life Sciences panel, please can you show yourselves, turn on your videos, but keep yourselves muted. And I've had some questions that have come in, so I will share them with you now. The first question is a marine biology question, so I'll pose this to you, David. Do you do any research with dolphins?
That's a very good question. Thank you, Sally. And something I didn't have time to mention in my presentation is that we do have relationships with a lot of other organizations. Dalene mentioned the Oceanographic Research Institute, but also the KZN Sharks Board. And people wanting to do research on dolphins or sharks or other big animals like that, we'll usually form a partnership with one of those institutions to facilitate that kind of research. Even if there's not a specialist in our campus for sharks or dolphins, we do carry out those kinds of research and we can supervise projects in it. Thanks a lot for the question.
Okay, thanks very much. Now, this is a question I think, Dalene, maybe you can answer it. Do you do field work if you do a BSc in Life Sciences, and how much time do you spend out in the field and what do you do?
So our undergrad degrees don't have much space for fieldwork, but we do have some modules that specifically offer fieldwork. I know in marine biology there's one going to be a module that is going to do a lot of fieldwork. There's some fieldwork in research projects undergrad for those programs or majors who offer research projects, but the majority of the research that you will do in the field will be done in postgrad and honors level.
Okay, thanks for that answer. This would lead me on to the next question, which I think I'm going to pose to Pumla, who is a postgrad student in Life Sciences. She's just graduated with her master's degree. And so Pumla, maybe you can tell us, what is it like to be a student in the School of Life Sciences?
Being a student in the School of Life Sciences is great. I did an undergraduate degree in biological sciences, which is quite a broad degree, and that's one of the great things about it. You are able to sort of narrow and focus the degree in your third year and a little bit in your second year by selecting certain modules. And then, of course, in your postgraduate, that's where you're really able to focus on your interests in terms of the research that you choose to do. Another great thing about being a student here, and I think this applies to all UKZN students, is the great support that you receive. We receive a lot of academic support through tutorials and supplementary instructions, especially from senior students as well. And then there's also the more, like psychological support from student support services. We have great psychologists at UKZN that you're able to consult with, which is very useful, especially in those times where you feel quite overwhelmed. For a lot of, especially first-year students, it's quite daunting coming to university, and those services from those psychologists are really, really helpful.
Okay, thanks, Pumla. That leads nicely on to the next question that has been posed. And Ade, I'll ask you this question. Is if you are a disabled student, can you come study at UKZN, and how can you be helped to study here?
Thank you very much, Sally. That's a very, very important question. At UKZN and definitely in the School of Life Sciences.
Sorry, you're very soft, Ade.
I said that's a good question, and that at UKZN and definitely in the school, we do not discriminate in terms of the student population. So if a student is disabled and they want to study with us, the university has a disability unit where the student first needs to indicate or declare what kind of disability they've got. And then that office then communicates with the school office to give us details of those students and what the disabilities are, so that we know what we have to put in place to be able to accommodate them. So things that range from, if it's in the lab, maybe that's a thing we need to provide special chair facility for them in the lab to enable them to be able to function properly, we do that. If we need to make sure that the walkway is done properly to ensure that they can move in and out, depending on what the conditions are. We also made efforts in terms of the course materials that we give to the students. Depending, maybe some we need to increase the funds, and even when they're writing tests and exam, there are some prescribed conditions that we have to accommodate in terms of whether we need to give them a longer time to be able to complete those tasks. But we work closely with the Student Disability Unit. If there's something we can do, then we make sure that whatever needs to be done, that those students are catered for. Thanks, Sally.
Okay, thanks, Ade. This is a question that's coming from Facebook, and I think, Richard, I think you're the person to answer it, about the zoology program, if you could speak a bit about that.
Yes, well, we don't actually have a dedicated zoology major or program as such, but within our program, particularly at third year, there are optional modules you can take if you want to focus on animals rather than plants. But unfortunately, we can't guarantee that you'll do a program or even a major in biology without doing some plants. Of course, all animals need to eat plants anyway. So at some point, you're going to have to consider plants into the equation. But there isn't a pure zoology major or program, I'm afraid.
Okay, thanks very much. This will lead into my next question nicely. And Andre, I think I'll pose this to you. We talk about when you apply for BSc LES stream. What does that mean? And what can you major in?
Thanks, Ellie. Yes, the LES is an abbreviation for Life and Environmental Science. So that's really the pool of subjects that you can choose from. So this is dedicated to specializing in majors, of which you, as we discussed, you can take 2 of them. And you can take them within the School of Life Sciences. And we have some really strong combinations, for instance, between genetics and microbiology and biochemistry and cellular biology is a really strong pool of modules that you can create a mix depending on your interest and your future specialization that you see for yourself. There are modules outside of the school that you can specialize in. For instance, if you want to pull chemistry in, and specialize more in the chemistry, biochemistry field, for instance, the opportunity is there to do that as well. So life and environmental sciences really means that you're choosing 2 majors. And then within this pool, obviously, you will make that choice in your second year. So really this common first year module, that first year structure that we've spoken about, allows you the time in your first year to really feel out where your interest lies and what resonates with you in terms of what you want to achieve. And some students come in thinking one thing, and then at the end of their first year, they realize, no, that this is not what they thought it was going to be. They would rather go into a different direction. And because you only make that decision on specialization in majors at the end of your second year, I think the common first year curriculum puts you in a position to really make an informed choice about which of these majors you want to specialize in. And we always invite students to have a chat with the lecturers. If you don't know what biochemistry is going to be all about because you don't do a pure biochemistry module in your first year, what is it all about? We facilitate that sort of contact with the students in order to allow them to make an informed choice about which of the 2 majors they might want to choose.
Okay, thanks for that answer. This is a question for Hafiza that's come in about viruses. Would I be able to study viruses and work with them? You muted. You muted?
On the Westville campus, we do offer students an opportunity to study about viruses in the second and the third year of their microbiology major. So we have a module which talks about fungi and viruses. And then in the third year, there's an advanced applications of fungi and viruses. So students get to learn a lot about viruses and all the intricacies that are associated with virus biology. We do not have a postgraduate degree or specialization in virology on the Westville campus. That is at the medical school campus.
Okay, thank you. That leads directly onto my next question that, Carola, I've got you in my sights. Going on to do medical research, if you have a BSc from the School of Life Sciences, can you do this?
Thanks, Sally. Yes, you can do this. Your BSc LES positions you very, very well to do a range of research. That can be agricultural, and it can be basic, but it can also be medical. We have many students that move after a BSc and an honours over across to the med school, either from the BSc straight into the honours or across into a master's program. Some of them go and work at Caprisa, for instance, and study further there or do internships. So it positions you very, very well for medical research.
Okay, thanks. We've run out of time, but I'm going to ask one more question because I think it's relevant both for people who are listening now and people who are joining the School of Maths, Stats and Computer Science. And that's to do with access. And Sihle, this question is for you. So if you want to do a BSc in our college, if you go mainstream, what points do you need? And then what do you need for the access program? And that's my cat talking in the background. You muted, Sihle.
Hello. Thanks, Ali. For access program, you need a minimum of 26 points, and you need LO as the normal program, which LO level 4, and you need maths level 3. The only difference between the mainstream and access program is that the maths there is level 4 as opposed to it's maths level 3 as opposed to level 4. But otherwise, all the requirements are the same, and the minimum for access is 26 as opposed to 28 in the mainstream. So mainstream, you require at least a minimum of 28 point and above, and that's for mainly degrees that are offered in life sciences. But BSM will be a minimum of level 4 or of 30 points. So, and one thing that is worth noting is that we don't generally go all the way to 28 points. So it's quite important that the matriculant actually achieve a good result in matric, because with those results you'll be able to get the program that you want, because we work on a sliding scale. Thanks, Ali.
Thanks very much, Sihle. We've now officially cut into Delia North's time, so she's going to have you for breakfast. So thanks very much to the School of Life Sciences. If you can turn off your cameras.